2028, one Big Mac will equal $1 million. From the Gospel of John McAfee. Bro, just learn to code. The Project Freedom Podcast.
Are you afraid? What's up, guys? Tonight, I want to talk about being afraid. What are you guys afraid of? I think everyone in here is afraid of something, right? Even if you don't want to admit it, everybody's afraid of something. One thing I can think of off the top of my head that probably almost anyone is afraid of is death, right? Everybody knows what it means to die, obviously. Everybody maybe might have thought about a situation they might have been in before where you could have almost died. Maybe some people are afraid of heights. Maybe some people are afraid of spiders, snakes, who knows? But that's not the kind of fear I'm talking about. Have you guys ever been so afraid to do something that you didn't do it, and then afterwards you look back and you think to yourself, man, if I was just not being a big floppy pussy, then I probably could have benefited from doing that thing that I was afraid of. And then you start to think to yourself, wow, what an idiot. And hopefully the next time you had an opportunity, you did it. Or you didn't. That part I can't tell you guys about because that's going to be prevalent to you. Wade Emery says, hey, what is good? What's up, Wade? Good to see you tonight. Happy Friday, everyone, by the way. Happy Friday. X City Roland says we all have fears. Yeah, dude. For sure. Riley says, what's good, Josh? What's good? Good to see you in the hoose tonight. New Horizon says, I'm scared. Be very afraid. Inner game? Question mark. I mean, if you want to consider this to be inner game, I guess you could. I like the whole inner game movement. Like, honestly, guys, I feel like that should just be common sense. Everybody has, and this isn't to put anybody down who's on like a conquest for inner game or whatever, right? But like everybody should be aware that none of us are born perfect upstairs here, right? I don't care what your situation is. I don't care if you came from like the best family upbringing ever. Everybody faces flaws mentally, right? Whether it's how they see themselves or some sort of performance that they do or something that they couldn't do, which is basically what I was here to talk about tonight. But I mean, everybody should have, and again, I said it's common sense. Maybe it's not. Everybody should be aware, I believe, that you're not perfect. As soon as you think you're perfect, guys, like you just stop. You stop moving forward and you don't benefit ever. Okay, I'm perfect. So me, like if I were to say to myself, to you guys, all right, guys, I'm perfect. This is it. This is the epitome of my life right here. That's it. Light, how do you feel about that? Nothing more to do. But I guess you could consider this inner game if you want to. Boom, says Cody Moose in the Hoose. Cody Moose in the Hoose. Did you get your 36K Bitcoin, my friend? I hope you did. New Horizon says, when I didn't go up on that girl. Yes. It's like a perfect example, dude. Perfect example. Christian Soto, 123 in the hoos tonight. Good evening to you too, sir. What are we afraid of today? You want to know what I'm afraid of? We can talk about that. Let me get through the rest of this Cody Moose and the Hoos. We can talk about what I'm afraid of. Annie Max is a good day. Good day, Annie Mac. NFV, scared that sell will go up to 14K. Yeah, dude, that's terrifying, isn't it? Well, all that red in my portfolio can be worrying. Yep. Totally agreed. Totally agreed. I have to say, though, I do have to say, if a majority of your portfolio would have been in Bitcoin, you would be red still, but you might not be as in much pain as other people. Facts. Common sense is rarely common these days. Yeah, that's actually a good point, man. That's a good point. In fact, something that was on my list of things last year was to just stop assuming that people understood what I was talking about. Anytime I spoke about anything, the EST life, there's a girl under the desk, huh? No. Unfortunately, no, not tonight. Alex in the house. What's up, dude? Good to see you, man. I didn't, but I get some cheap ass ETH. Yeah. What is the price of ETH right now? I don't even want to look anymore. 2,600. Yeah, this looks pretty scrumptious. Okay, guys. So Cody Moose in the Hoos, you want to know what I'm afraid of? Actually, Cody, if I'm being completely honest with you, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that I have a fear of heights. Not like, oh my God, I'm going to die if I look over the edge, because I do that to my balcony all the time, but I definitely get vertigo. And I'll tell you guys a story. One time, the first time I ever went rock climbing, I went to this place called Sand Rock, Alabama, and it was just like a straight vertical. This is the first thing I ever climbed. It was literally like straight vertical rock. And let's see if I can even find this. Straight vertical rock. Yeah, it looks like they got some pictures, my friend. Yeah, this is perfect. This is freaking perfect. Check this out, guys. This is exactly what it looked like. All right. So you guys see this right here? I was actually literally right here. It's just a straight vertical climb, which that was actually pretty easy to do. In fact, I did that the first time, and that's not super like high, right, guys? I mean, there were a couple areas where it's a little bit higher. That's not super high at all, right? It felt super easy because it was like just doing a pull-up the whole time. That was it. And I was like, man, I'm going to be the best rock climber in the world. 2 days later, we take a road trip to this place called Pisgah, North Carolina. Anybody familiar with that area of the world? That's where there's lots and lots of real rock climbing. And went and got a log cabin. And then the next day, essentially took like a 6-hour trip, because in total, with walking and driving combined, up on the top of this mountain to this area that was like a pristine
rock climbing environment.
Okay, and there was some off the wall stuff. And this time, when I started the climb, first of all, it wasn't directly vertical. All right. There's also like all these like crevasses, and like canals and like things that your body is not meant to like fit on. And you had to use all these special tools to like get in and out of. And I climbed up relatively far, and I had maybe I really didn't have like a whole lot left to go. I probably had like a 1/4 of the whole climb left before I finished. And here's what happened, guys. I made the mistake of turning around, taking a break, getting on a ledge, right? And there happened to be like a ledge that was maybe like, I mean, you guys can't see this desk, but it was maybe like half the size of this desk. that allowed me to sit and rest for a second. So I sat, and then I turned around and I looked down, and not only was it like forever until the beginning where we started the climb, but after that, we were already at the top of the mountain. So after that, it was just like it was an infinite amount of death and despair if someone were to fall. And I was like, oh man, fuck that. I'm not dying today. I'm going right back down. And I slid my ass down like a big old puss boy. Big old puss boy. This was in 2014, 2013 or 2014. Might have been 2013. Anyway, point of the story is after that, the person who was climbing with me, they finished 15 minutes after I quit. And the whole time I was saying to myself, I was like, wow. Like I could have just did it. I should have just did it. That was the dumbest thing ever. And you know what? I might not ever have a chance to go there and do that again. Which to this day, I still haven't, right? I mean, to be quite frank with you guys, I don't even think I would have the time right now to go on a trip, let alone to go spend a day rock climbing on that trip. If I took a vacation right now, guys, I'd probably have to have my laptop with me the entire time, which is fine, but there's definitely not time to rock climb, right? So I'm 30 years old now, and let's just say I wait till I'm 45 till I can do that again. Do you guys think this 45-year-old crusty version of myself would be able to go and climb up that? No way. I mean, maybe, right? But like, highly doubtful, right? If I couldn't do it when I was 22 or 23, and I quit because I was afraid. I was afraid. And I regret it, guys. I regret that and many, many other things in life that I had just bailed on because I was afraid. Now, luckily, as I've gotten older, it's just become like easier to just say, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to say what I want to say or do what I want to do, or at least give it a try anyway. Because at the very least, if it doesn't work out for the positive, I won't have to feel bad in myself for not trying. Because believe it or not, guys, it's not so much about the fact that you didn't achieve something or didn't finish something. What's the most painful blow that you're dealing to yourself when you quit or give up on something like that due to fear is how you feel on the inside about yourself. It's just you adding flames to a doubtful fire. That's it. And every time you do the inverse, every time you say, I don't care, I'm going to try to go after what it is that I want to, it's the inverse. You're putting flames on a fire of prosperity, not doubt. New Horizon says that was the best life. I knew what you meant. I just read it out loud anyway. I have a conditional fear of heights. If I have to do it, like no avoiding with it, I'll deal with it. Yeah. And like another thing, so I have no problems with airplanes. Like at all, Cody Moose. But when I'm stuck in like a large cavernous rock, and my life is on like my lines, literally, that makes me feel a little bit less comfortable. But if I didn't have to do it, it's not going to happen. Touche. Yes, Alex, it was the Smoky Mountains. Smoky Mountains, indeed. Tom, RKBA, in the house tonight. Good to see you. Yes. You believe in me. Thank you, Randall. Haven't gotten older yet. LOL. Regret. Good point, Andy. Rejection is always better than regret. Yes. Live with no regrets. Not even a letter. Yes, sir. My only regret so far is not becoming a wrestler. Well, I would say, do you mean like professionally? Because, I mean, if you wanted to just go wrestle, I mean, you could go do that whenever. Tom says, I just finished out testing, normally done by 2.5 people. I finished everything that 2 people would normally do in a sprint. It's just a matter of plugging away at it. Damn, dude. 2.5 people's worth of sprint testing. Tom, what are those developers doing over there at insert large tech company's name? And they just like not showing up. You should go beat them up. Actually, Tom, you should just take their salaries. That wouldn't be so bad, right? Want to know fear fights? Get close to the edge of a cliff of the Grand Canyon. That makes you scared pretty quick. Yeah, I bet you get like a jolting sense of vertigo for sure. So when we go in skydiving, dude, that is a great idea. That is actually a great idea. You can do that in Louisiana, apparently, for like a couple $100. Yes, professional, but it's not a big loss. Yeah, I mean, what is the criteria that would be required for you to do that professionally? If it requires just time, then maybe it wouldn't be such a, maybe that time would be spent and it's a way that you could consider it spending on your hobby. And then also you're kind of fulfilling something that you feel like you missed out on. And if it's money that you're willing to basically, like, if you were to consider like that as a loss, maybe you just didn't end up getting the professionalism out of it. As long as you were okay with spending that money at a loss, and I'm not saying that you would get it at a loss, but as long as you're okay with spending that money and knowing that it could go to a loss, then, I mean, it's not too late, right? That's what this stream's all about. No, we are QA on the same team. They're very busy on high-speed programmers. They're very busy and high-speed programmers. Okay. I see what you're saying. You can do it here in Arizona. When I get back under 225 pounds, I'm going to go. Do you have to be under 225 to go? If so, that's not inclusive enough to exclude people over 225 pounds. So listen, guys, if you are afraid of something and that fear is preventing you from living the life that you want to live, that's fine and all, but you're going to stay afraid literally for the rest of your life, okay? You're going to be quite literally living in fear. And that's no way to live your life, right? It's no way to live your life to just constantly live in fear. And whatever it is, every time you think about it, every time you circle around on it again, you're going to get that same sense of fear. And make no mistake, guys, there's such a thing as a fear of success, not just a fear of failure. There's a fear of success as well. Believe you me. Very senior, competent people. Yep, after my life. One regret I have is not trying out for junior hockey when I was at the age because I was scared, even though I could have played there. Yeah, I mean, dude. So, guys, one thing you guys can do is when you're sitting around thinking about all the things that you were afraid of and that you missed out on, think about it, analyze it, think about why you didn't do it, because most likely the fear itself probably stems from something else, okay? And then think about how you could have benefited if you weren't afraid, if you just went ahead and did it anyway. And you should tell yourself while you're thinking that, you're a big old flop. Insert name here. Next time you get a chance to do that, we're definitely doing it. We're 100% doing it. Because if not, we're just going to continue. The show is going to continue as it is, right? Tell that to all the people still freaking out over UG. Over UG. Not sure what you mean. Give me some more hints there. You have to do tandem jumps as a beginner. The person you jump with has to be bigger than you. So if you're over 225, it gets hard. So okay. Makes sense. Pro tip: go check out Go check out Intergame July on MLD. Yep, that was a good series indeed. Okay. Albert Chang, the laughing emoji. Yeah. That's what I thought. That's what I thought you meant. That guy, the BB. Can we not even say ugh anymore? We got to say it like that now, guys. Makes you think. What is TUBE? What are they afraid of? Are they afraid of the dark? They should be. Just kidding, Susan. Don't get upset, Susan. I promise that I believe in all of your values 100%. And I consent to it all. Consent to all of it, okay? So, guys, this last year, 2021, that was hands down the best year of my entire life. 100%. I don't mean that to be snide, to be crude, or as a joke. It was literally the best year of my life. And that was a year that I believe a lot of people were very, 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 very fearful. I had red ass in 2021, guys. I had about a red ass, boy. I just was like, everything was like falling apart. A lot of stuff that had happened to me in my life personally was like changing. And I was just like, what? Screw it. Like, I'm just going to go move to Miami. I'm going to spend more time on my businesses as opposed to this 9-to-5 job. And next thing you know, living in a completely different place, completely different sources of income, completely different person. And it was all because I was like, screw it. I essentially, guys, I basically like packed up and left in a second. And I'm willing to bet the same Josh, the same ELP a couple years prior would have not done that. And it only took me about 7120 times of not doing something because I was afraid until I got to the point where I said, all right, no more. No more. And I think you guys should do that too. I'm not saying to do anything like crazy or anything like that. All right. Listen, if you get in an ambulance or you lose all your money, I didn't tell you to do that. All right. Whatever insert thing that you want to do. But guys, no one knows when you're going to die. We have such a limited amount of time on this planet that are you really going to spend the better days, or maybe if you're older, the remaining days of what you have left in fear? I say screw that. To me, definitely not. Ugh makes the blue-haired LESBOs uncomfy. Cheers to you too. Cheers to the good times. We can still create for ourselves no matter what the world tries to do to us. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Cheers to that, my friend. Since I'm not able to play hockey this year due to the stupid mandates and lockdowns, I bought a set of cross-country skis. That was a great investment. Good, man. Glad to hear you're going to have something to do. I heard it's getting pretty rough up there, Andy. I heard it's getting rough, man. Mid last year, I was going through a depressive time for like a month. I got furiously pissed at myself one night because I wasn't getting anything done. Well, did you end up at least you got mad at yourself for not doing anything, right? At least you got mad at yourself. If you didn't, I mean, you had enough self-awareness to realize that you were lacking in some sort of area, right? 2022 about to be a banger, TBH. Yeah, Cody knows. Cody Moose knows. Yeah, it is. It is. I'm willing to bet my left and right Busak on that for sure. And one boomer coin, whatever that's going to be worth by the end of the year 2022. The next 3 weeks was nothing but the best 3 weeks of productivity ever. Good, dude. Exactly. Sometimes you got to be hard on yourself. You really, really do. So, guys, when you're out there thinking about all the things that you didn't do, all the things you could and should do, remind yourself that was your choice. That's all our own choice, guys. And sometimes you need a little bit of tough love on yourself. It can be a healthy dose of medicine. That's all I had tonight, boys. As always, I love you all.